Hello everyone and welcome to the channel of World of Project Management. Today we are going to discuss about Scrum in detail with the help of daily life example. Let us first see the example and then after the example Scrum will be discussed in detail. Scrum is the most popular Agile framework. It is the lightweight framework that is used in dynamic changing environment. It is simple to understand, but difficult to master. Scrum relies on 3 pillars of empirical process control as follows: transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Transparency ensures everyone understands what they are doing and are on the common page. Inspection helps in preventing deviation from the desired process or product. Adaptation ensures necessary adjustments in case of any deviation at the end of every iteration. Scrum is iterative and incremental. By iteration, it means to arrive at a desired result through cycle of operations. By incremental, it means to provide small improvements to an existing product every time it is released. Scrum depends on 5 values: commitment, courage, focus, openness, and respect. Commitment is essential to build Agile culture. Scrum teams commit only that much which they believe they can achieve in the sprint. Courage is required to try out new things and challenge the status quo, when required. Focus helps in limiting the work in progress. WIP, Scrum teams finish activities which they start before taking up more activities. Openness helps in exploring opportunities to learn and new ideas. Scrum team members respect each other's views and ideas. Scrum teams collaborate among themselves to achieve the target. Now let us discuss Scrum framework. Scrum teams are cross-functional, which has all the capabilities to deliver the product increment. Scrum involves sprint, which is the short time frame, and varies from 1 week to 4 weeks. Scrum teams work in these sprints to deliver new product increment, which must be potentially releasable. Scrum defines 3 roles: Scrum Master, Product Owner, and Development Team. Together, all 3 roles make up a Scrum team. The Scrum Master helps the Scrum team perform at their highest level by removing impediments and protecting the team from distractions. Scrum Master makes sure Scrum values are being properly followed on the project. Scrum Master should be humble and respectful. Scrum Master acts as servant leader and Agile advocate on the project. Scrum Master serves Product Owner, Development Team, and organization in several ways to ensure they work efficiently and effectively. The Product Owner defines the feature list of the product. The Product Owner incorporates stakeholders' feedback to create highest value product increments in every sprint. Product Owner maintains the product backlog and ensures that everyone knows the priorities. Product Owner should be empowered, business savvy, persuasive, knowledgeable, and available to the team. Product Owner is the customer voice on the project. The Development Team is cross-functional, which decides how to accomplish the work. They are empowered to organize their own work. There are no designations in the Development Team, and the accountability belongs to the Development Team as a whole. The ideal size for a development team is 3 to 9 people. Scrum defines 3 artifacts: product backlog, sprint backlog, and a potentially releasable product increment. The product backlog contains everything that is needed in the product. It is prioritized based upon the value of each item. It is constantly evolving. The sprint backlog is the subset of the product backlog. It contains everything that the team commits to achieve in a given sprint. If some of the item doesn't get completed in the sprint, then that goes back to the product backlog. The third artifact is the potentially releasable product increment. Every sprint generates product increment, which is potentially releasable. Scrum defines 5 events, which is also known as ceremonies or activities. 5 events are sprint, sprint planning, daily scrum, sprint review, and sprint retrospective. Sprint is a time-boxed event of 4 weeks or less during which a potentially releasable product increment is created. In the sprint planning, entire Scrum team, Product Owner, Development Team, Scrum Master, meets to decide the sprint goal. The Product Owner describes the objective of the sprint and shares the acceptance criteria. Development Team, based upon their velocity, chooses tasks from the product backlog and decides how much they can accomplish in the sprint. Generally, the duration of the sprint planning is 2 hours for every 1 week of sprint length. In the daily Scrum, Development Team meets for 15 minutes every day of the sprint. Each member of the development team answers 3 questions: what they did yesterday, what they are planning to do today, any impediments they are facing. It is Scrum Master's responsibility to remove impediments. Daily Scrum is purely for the development team and product owner doesn't participate in it. Sprint reviews focus on the product and allows the Scrum team to discuss what was completed during the sprint with all concerned stakeholders. The primary purpose of the sprint review is to inspect and adapt based upon the feedback. Generally, the duration of the sprint review is 1 hour for every 1 week of sprint length. Sprint retrospectives focus on the process and allows Scrum team, product owner, development team, Scrum Master, to check how did they perform in the sprint. They discuss what went right and what needs to be improved and make plans on how to improve in the next sprint. Generally, the duration of the sprint retrospective is 45 minutes for every 1 week of sprint length. More topics related to estimation techniques, key performance indicators, stakeholder engagement, and much more contents like these will be published in upcoming videos. Subscribe to the channel so that as soon as the video is posted you will get the notification. Thanks for watching and stay safe and healthy.